Savings not keeping up with property. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here, and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. Grab your stein of coffee because I want to talk about this article from Domain, which is highlighting the fact that buyers need to save thousands of dollars extra every week just to keep up with property prices, how they're going up. Now, we saw earlier today job ads are at a record high, and then the argument I put forward is will wages go up if demand drives up wages? Well, we'll have a look. Let's first start by looking at wage growth versus property, everyone. Okay, we'll look at wage growth versus property. Now, this is a chart, if you've been watching the last few days, I've shown every now and then whenever we're discussing property and housing affordability guides. You can see there, the blokes were up 322% since 1990. The ladies are up 335% right here. So, wages up 300%. Now, if we have a look more recently at data, from 2000, if we index it at 14 March at 100, we're now sitting at just a touch over 102, so 2% increase of total wages. Payroll jobs are sitting a bit lower at about 101.5. Okay, this is the most up-to-date data from just a month ago from the ABS, yes. Here's houses. 30 years, they've gone up 565% in Sydney, guys. Lowest, 371 in Adelaide. You can see that. This is an old story that we're all familiar with. Over 560% in 30 years. Not too bad. Do you think we'll see that again? But if we look at units, pretty much the same. Except for Brisbane, I suspect that's because we have got a insane oversupply of units in South Brisbane. Honestly, that's what I think is going on there. So if we, hang on, lost my mouse. That's the problem when you have 6 screens. If you look at the amount of weekly earnings to pay a mortgage, the idea of even supporting a mortgage on an average salary for one person is ludicrous. You need a couple now to do it, and even that is getting close to 30%. And if you look at our wage disparity, there is a growing wealth disparity here in Australia, guys. It's getting bigger, and I think if anything, the pandemic is going to exacerbate that because people are not feeling the impacts of these economic interventions equally. Now, house prices around the world, this is just from 2017. Australia is going up there, but if you look at New Zealand, guys, the poor Kiwis. Imagine trying to get into a first house over in New Zealand. Even US, they're on fire. Canada, everywhere's on fire. Everyone wants to get in property. Maybe that's the issue that we're having, locking everyone up. They want to get more space. So let's talk about household liquidity and savings. Because, this is what, when we're talking about affordability, when we're talking about saving to get into property, this is an important thing. This is essentially what we're talking about here. We can have a look at the household liquidity and debt. Now you can see deposit net of offsets, they're growing. They've been growing since 2010. Household debt has also been growing. Now the liquidity buffers, how much money you've got set aside for indebted homeowners, so people who have a mortgage, we're up here around 4%, and the renters have got 4 months, and the renters have 2 months. Outright homeowners have 10 months, and that's kind of been jumping up and down since 2017, where renters and indebted homeowners has gone up, and it's definitely increased in the last year, you can see. Here's prepayments, just to show you, how far ahead people are. Not as much for savers that you have to build for a mortgage, but savings are not keeping up with property. And let's have a look at this article, which is just highlighting how tough it's going to be for people to get in if you can't even keep up with your property. So buyers need to save thousands of dollars extra every week to keep up with rising property prices. Potential home buyers who have spent the summer searching for a property would need to save thousands of dollars extra every week in deposit money to keep pace with soaring home prices, a daunting task. Auction prices have boomed to historic highs in the 2 biggest capital city markets, with Sydney and Melbourne continuing to record strong clearance rates as nearly all the homes for sale each week are snapped up. Now, clearance rates, I don't trust the data because there is a tendency for real estate agents to not report failure. Okay, they're gregarious people. They need to sell. That's what they are. That's their job. But trend-wise, okay. Consider it as a trend. If it's higher, it's trending upwards. So the growth is fueled by ultra-low interest rates, and the expectation rates will stay low for years, along with government grants and fear of missing out. I think fear of missing out is a big part of it. And, I mean, people are expecting rates to stay low for years. You can lock in your rates to stay low for at least 4 years. Then even if it starts creeping up, and you can still make the repayments, that's all people are worried about, their ability to service it. In Sydney, the median price for homes sold at auction jumped more than 100,000 in March alone to a record 1.75 million, Domain data showed. That's an eye-watering increase of 265 since December. Someone who had a 20% deposit in December but did not manage to buy would have needed to save an extra 53,000 since then to maintain the same level of deposit. A must for avoiding lenders' mortgage insurance. That would mean saving 4,400 a week. How's that? The average median income in Australia is 1,700 a week, guys. Okay? So, I mean, okay, cool. I'm sure it's higher in Sydney, but 4,400? Not all homes are sold at auction, and others available for private sale may not command such high asking prices, but homes are often taken at auction where a real estate agent expects competition from at least 2 potential buyers, suggesting homes sold at auction are often highly sought after. But we're starting to see homes not sold at auction. So the question is, have we hit the peak in this market? But still, with prices going as hot as they are, how can you keep up with the savings? For units, and particularly with the interest rate, with what interest rates can you get now? You get nothing. Nothing. You know, I got my Rabobank 1.75%, and that's run out because it was introductory. Now I'm with ING. What is it? 1.35. I think I've got to make 5 purchases, deposit $1,000 into one account, another account every month, and then make sure the stars align with Jupiter through the axis of the moon to just get, just get 1.35% on a maximum of 100 grand. So you're losing it there, guys. Those of you that are too young, you may not realize there was this time back long ago in ancient times where you would put your money in the bank and it would magically, just more money would appear in there. But you do nothing. You sit there every month, more money would appear. Like 5%, 7%. It's real. Ask the elders, they know. For units, the median price at auction jumped 84 grand in the first 3 months of this year alone to 1 million. This means buyers would have to have saved an extra 16,800 in the past 3 months, or an extra 1,400 a week just to maintain a solid deposit. Buyers should brace themselves if they want to break into the market, as it shows no signs of slowing down. Well, this article is probably a week out of date, so maybe we're starting to see it slowing down. Strong price growth and high clearance rates are expected to continue for months, according to Northern Beaches auctioneer Jake Downs of Auction Works. People have money and are desperate to get a home. They'll just chuck everything at it, he said. Well, that's the thing. They've got fear of missing out, and they're desperate. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Wait, I'll make sure you can see everything here. With an average of 5 bidders per auction, many were walking away empty-handed, Mr. Downs said, meaning strong demand wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. I think we're going to get this carried on until we run out of buyers. That will only happen if they start restricting lending again, or the buyer pool goes. This is crazy. We're going. It was a similar story in Melbourne, where the median auction price for a house jumped 35,000 in March alone and grew by almost 100,000 since December. A Melburnian who was in the market to buy a house at the start of the year would have needed to save an extra 19,850 in the past 3 months to maintain a substantial deposit. That works out to an extra 1,654 per week. Even for a relatively affordable unit, the median auction price rose by 57,000 to 724 grand in the past 3 months. This would leave hopeful homeowners looking for a Melbourne unit short of 11,500 in the past 3 months, or needing extra savings of $950 per week. The city's market is rising, but price gains have not been quite as strong as in Sydney, and the boom could be shorter-lived too, as some auctioneers believe the frantic pace cannot be sustained for the rest of 2021. By spring, many believe the market may slow to a more even pace when more properties hit the market. We're running a marathon at a 100-meter pace, and that is unsustainable, Brad Teal Woodards, auctioneer Brad Teal said. There's a time in a marathon where you have to stop and have a drink. He said he'd already noticed a drop in the number of prospective buyers inspecting houses and units for sale. Over the past 6 weeks, they had dropped from around 25 a week to just 5. So more signs that maybe we are indeed seeing the peak here. So what is the solution to this, everyone? What are the solutions? Well, if people are saving, what's going to happen is people are going to look at more riskier savings. And then they're potentially going to expose themselves to that risk and may end up in a worse situation. People are going to get desperate. And then if they get desperate, they're going to either compromise on their houses or just jump into the market. We have to understand what's overheating the sector here, guys. And that's the government juicing it up, sadly. Or just put it all in Bitcoin and hope for the moon. I wonder if there's some people that have done that. There's a question for you, actually. There'll be a lot of Australians that have made money on crypto. Bitcoin's doing pretty well. Okay, maybe they did that. Maybe they were worried about sitting their money in the bank, so they just thought, you know what, YOLO, put it in Bitcoin. And it's moon. Do you think there'll be enough Australians that will take money out of that it might actually start influencing the housing market if they're cashing out and buying into housing? Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments down below, guys. I don't know if it'll be significant enough, but it is an interesting question to mull over. But I mean, that's what people are going to have to do, or what they'll be doing. They'll be looking at riskier options. Same thing with retirees. Or they'll have to lower their expectations. Maybe they'll move to other cities or to regions. As always, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Aussie Broadband. You can buy merch from Heiser Says, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.